So we've had some videos where I was riding split reins and had questions on how you hold them properly. And there's no standard answer for that. As I'm riding across the pasture, I'm usually holding the reins just like this, like I would say a cutter would hold one when you set it down on a cow. But it kind of just depends what you're doing. If I'm gonna be riding with two reins, I usually run my left rein around this finger so that the tail of both reins is on the same side, but I can still ride with two hands and do whatever I need to do as far as with my horse without hindering, because I can make these reins as big as I want them to. So when I'm riding with two hands, I'll ride them like that, or when I'm riding with one hand, sometimes I'll just slide it up from there, right here, to where I can get back to seeing if my horse is responding from kind of a one rein unit there, and I know kind of if we're ready to go into roping reins or if I still need to get back out here and give him the right kind of cues. And when you see me roping, there's really no difference in how you would hold a roping rein, just like this. That's basically exactly how I hold my reins, my split reins, except I just have a real long tail over here. Got my coils in that hand, roping this, and it feels no different to me other than I just have more hanging over the edge there. One thing I didn't mention when I said I wrap it around my left finger and the tail comes out the same time. So if you're on a horse that, you know, is a little fresh or does want to play or buck, even though this may slide out of your hand, I really feel like I always have a really good hold on this left rein, so I can always cheek them up and like hold them till I get things right. I just feel more secure when I'm on a young horse if I've got a good hold on that left rein, because I ride horse better to the left, and so if I'm going to shorten one side and pull him up, I want him going to the left. This is my personal preference. Everybody says they don't ride split reins because they're afraid they'll ride them incorrect, and it can be a problem, but roping reins can also be rode incorrect. But I think with these several different ways to hold your reins, you'll know in what application to use them. So when you're trying to ride a horse with two hands, you hold it differently than if you're trying to, you know, cut a cow, or if you're wanting the horse to be able to, you know, neck rein, you can still do that by riding split reins without having to do this. You don't have to ride split reins like this all the time. People rope in them, but the reason you don't see me roping them at ropings or rodeos is because it's just more stuff to go wrong. Like when I'm holding them just like I do my roping reins, even though I have the same feel in the box, you know, there's some, if it catches a horse's leg wrong and it throws up in my coils or in my loop, there's just more potential for stuff to go wrong. And when you're roping at the kind of money that, I don't care if you're an amateur team roper or an open team roper, you just want to take all those variables that you can out. So that's the 3 or 4 different ways that I hold my split reins, and not that any of them are better than the other, but they all have different applications and reasons why I use them like that.